Good evening. Today we are going to discuss on the topic that is haloalkanes and haloarenes. Now before I go to this topic, I want to say that already in class 11 we have known that what are alkanes and what are alkenes and what are alkynes. Apart from this, we have also seen about the benzene and aromatic compounds. So today we will be talking about the derivatives of alkanes, that is haloalkanes and haloarenes. Now the thing is that under haloalkanes, alkanes means normal hydrocarbons. They have a formula which we all know, CnH2n plus 2. So we all know from class 10 that the general formula is CnH2n plus 2. Means if I take one carbon, that means it will be 2 into 1 plus 2, it will be 4 hydrogens. If I take 2 carbons, then it will be having 3 hydrogens. So similarly, we will be calling this as, now if I need to substitute or if I need to replace this hydrogen by any of the halo, means what? Fluorine, chlorine, bromine or iodine. Out of this, if I replace any one hydrogen, if I write over here Cl, means chlorine, then according to the IUPAC name, it will be chloro 1 carbon, so we will be writing chloromethane. Common name will be methyl chloride. Similarly, the name of this one will be, if I replace this hydrogen and if I write over here bromine, so it will be, IUPAC name will be bromo 2 carbons, so it will be bromoethane, and common name will be ethyl bromide. So this is what basically we have studied till now. Now this chapter, as I always talk about, that what is the importance of studying haloalkanes and haloarenes. Basically the importance is, it is used in medicinal purposes. It is used mainly in medical industry or in medicinal purposes. Few examples I can give you, like chloramphenicol. Chloramphenicol is basically used for the treatment of typhoid. Apart from this, thyroxine is a hormone which is produced in the thyroid gland, which is present in our neck over here. And when we are having a deficiency in the diet, that is, we are having a deficiency of iodine, we see that the neck starts, or the region of the neck starts swelling, and we suffer from a disease known as goiter. So thyroxine is a hormone. The disease that is caused is goiter. And apart from this, we can also say halothane. Halothane is also a medicine which is used as anesthetic. That is, before the operation, the doctor does anesthesis to us, which we call as anesthetic. So halothane is the medicine which helps in anesthesia. Now these are the things that we have talked about. Now we will be approaching to the part that is types of haloalkanes. Types of haloalkanes, as the name suggests, types of haloalkanes on the basis of number of halogens as derivatives. When one hydrogen is being replaced, we call it to be as When one hydrogen is to be replaced, we call it as a monohalo derivative. Like CH3Cl, we can call it as chloromethane or methyl chloride. Apart from this, there is dihalo derivative. Dihalo derivative, we can say, for example, a single carbon can have two halogens, so we call this to be as a dihalo derivative. Apart from this dihalo derivative, we can also see a single hydrogen, a carbon can, or the two adjacent carbons, when each one is having a halogen, it is also known as dihalo derivative. Now, a single carbon, as I have shown you over here, like for example, a single carbon, when it is having two halogens attached to it, it is also a dihalo derivative. When two carbons adjacent to each other, each one is having a halogen, we are also calling it as a dihalo derivative. We call this to be as the geminal dihalide. In books, you will be finding gem dihalide, and we call this one as the vicinal dihalide. Means the biggest example is when we call a student to be as a gem, that means in that particular person all the qualities of a good student are being present. So similarly, a carbon which is having two halogens attached to it, we call it to be as a geminal dihalide. It is the biggest example. We can call this as polyhalo derivatives also. Polyhalo derivatives. So this is what we are talking about. Now the next part is on the basis of chemical bonding. On the basis of chemical bonding, how the haloalkanes are being classified on the basis of bonding. Halogen attached to sp3 hybridized carbon. On the basis of this, you will be finding number 1, when a carbon is having one halogen attached to it, we call this to be as alkyl halide. X is chlorine, bromine, iodine, or it may be fluorine. Number 2, when a carbon which is having a halogen attached to it, now next to this carbon, if there is a carbon which is having double bonded carbon attached to it, like this over here, these two carbons are double bonded, we call this to be as allylic halides. So remember, we call this to be as allylic halides when a carbon which is, this is sp3, but next to it the carbon which is being bonded is having double bond, we call it to be as allylic halides. Now after this, there is a third type where you will be finding excuse me, a alkyl group which is having a halogen attached to it. Now this carbon which is attached to this benzene ring is having a sp3 hybridized, because two hydrogens, one halogen and one benzene ring. Such type of halides are known as benzylic halides. So this is on the basis of sp3 hybridized carbon, these three classes are being classified. Now after this, we will also discuss halogen attached to sp2 hybridized carbon. sp2 means double bonded carbon. We all have studied in chemical bonding as well as in class 11. When a carbon is having a double bond and adjacent to it we see a X is or a halogen is attached, such type of carbon structures are known as vinylic halides. vinylic halides. Now after this, when a benzene ring is attached to a halogen, such type of structures are known as benzylic halides. Or rather, we don't say it as benzylic, we will be calling it as arylic halides. But many of us, we often get a confusion that benzylic means this and arylic means this one. Keep in mind that when an alkyl group is attached to a benzene ring, and to that particular alkyl group when a halogen is attached, we call it to be as benzylic halide. Arylic halide